Vladimir Putin has touted his country's annexation of Crimea during an economic forum in Saint Petersburg. Putin said during the forum that if Russia hadn't acted to take Crimea, there would have been violence similar to that seen in Odesa on May 2nd, when more than 40 people were killed. The Russian president failed to mention that the deaths in Odesa occurred after pro-Russian rebels armed with guns attacked a peaceful Ukrainian unity rally. The violent provocation sparked clashes throughout the city and led to a deadly fire in the city's trade unions building. Putin has repeatedly changed his story about the events in Crimea since Russian troops were deployed in late February. He initially denied that soldiers were active in Crimea prior to the sham referendum over joining Russia on March 16th. Putin only admitted Russian troops had been deployed weeks after Moscow annexed the region. Moscow has repeatedly claimed that it has an obligation to protect ethnic Russians in Crimea that were being persecuted by the Ukrainian government. But an April UN report found that there was no credible threat to ethnic Russians, and that those claims were merely an excuse to annex the peninsula. Another report found that abuses were actually being carried out by Russian supporters against Ukrainian and Crimean Tatar minorities. Putin has said he will respect the results of Ukraine's presidential election, despite his continued hostility toward Ukraine's interim government since pro-Moscow President Viktor Yanukovych was ousted in February. That statement comes as Russian-backed separatists continue to hold government buildings and launch violent assaults on Ukrainian military personnel in the country's east, in what many see as an attempt to disrupt the vote. The St. Petersburg Economic Forum, traditionally Russia's flagship economic showpiece, saw low attendance this year as many Western participants failed to show as Russia becomes more and more hostile toward Europe and the United States.